Ryan Leone, man. Sometimes I think about Ryan Leone, and Ryan had like a little small cult following, and I'll consider myself a part of it. You know, what was it, man? Ryan was crazy. Ryan was a very charismatic guy. Ryan, I mean, no homo, as we said. Whatever. No homo. I'm 32. I can say this. I'm confident in my sexuality. Ryan was a handsome dude. He was a white guy that was very handsome, and Ryan was charismatic, and I consider myself a fan of his, man. Uh, his storytelling ability was really, really good, man. And Luke from lukegtv, he's analyzing some soft white underbelly. I know what that is, but I've never actually seen their interviews. I've seen the thumbnails with a family of people who were like they was like an incestual family, incest. But this is really cool, man. And what's cool about this is it goes to show you that Ryan Leone's stories were true. Like I remember when Ryan was first posting the videos from this series. The series was called My Wife, and my Colorado wife, and he was speaking about his adventures with her, and a lot of people call Ryan's storytelling into question as far as the veracity of it. Is this true or not? Was he taking creative liberties? And I think this right here proves that Ryan Leone was 100% about everything he said. And like I said, man, I don't think he had a reason to lie. I think that Ryan really lived a colorful life. Now let's check out Luke's analysis, man. And excuse me, man. There's some every day. Well, I live in a huge apartment complex, so every day they're cutting grass. It seems like. All right, so hold on.
Or I might, do cocaine on a night, but I basically had my life together. I was like functioning.
Don't tell me she's gonna blame it on Ryan. Don't tell me.
I'm an avid reader. I love to read, and
what?
We all know a book.
She's an avid reader. She loves to read. You guys, we all know where this is going. She said, listen to how she set this up. She said, I just like to do party drugs, little ecstasy, little coke, and I was an avid reader. I wonder whose book she's about to mention right now.
I wonder
whose book she's going to mention right now, and I wonder how she's going to correlate her drug use to that author. I mean, just a theory, maybe. I don't know. Let's see. Let's see what Kayla has to say. And if she says that, we're gonna go over this, and we're gonna dissect.
Check this out.
What she has to say.
Check it out.
It was actually written by another one of your guests on the show. His name was Ryan Leone.
So she's only 2 years older than me? Let's continue. Let's dive in, guys. Let's keep it in. Keep focus.
A guy who was, maybe a couple years older than me, good-looking guy.
Wait, couple years older than her?
She's talking about Ryan Leone, and yeah, man. At first glance, my first, what I think about when I see this woman is she's an attractive woman, obviously, and I know for a fact when she's at her healthiest and when she's at her best, she's probably a really beautiful girl, and yeah, like he said, Ryan Leone died at 36 or something. So she's saying that Ryan Leone is a few years older than her. So, she has to be, my age, 32, 33, 34. Basically, he's surprised because she looks a little older, but that's just how the streets is, man. The streets will beat you down.
Or what? So Ryan would be 37 right now. I'm 32. So she's only 2 years older than me?
Like party drugs, like the same kind of things that I was doing. So cocaine, ecstasy. I said, oh, okay, well, that's fine. At the time, I didn't have any experience in the recovery world, so I didn't understand, if you relapse.
So what do you guys think? What?
Or you're doing ecstasy, like you're still not in line with GHB, drinking, cocaine. And this went on for like 10 days. It was just a complete bender. The whole thing was just a blur of just drug abuse and craziness and whatever. And at the end of this 10-day period, obviously neither one of us were thinking very clearly because we thought it would be a great idea to get married. And keep in mind, this is somebody that I just met 10 days prior. My son.
Yeah, so, man, I just wanted to play that because it shows that Ryan Leone was really, really being real about his stories, man. And, hold on for a second. Hold on for a second. Let's see if we can find that actual story. Yeah, the title of the series is Doomed Marriage, and I think that's my favorite Ryan Leone story because I think that's the story where he was like, he was like, I got on the plane to go meet my wife in Colorado. He married her after only knowing her for 10 days, and he was like, yeah, because he got these big glasses on, and he was like, during the first flight, I missed it because I nodded out at the airport. So the second flight, I got another ticket. I mean, he missed like 3 flights nodding out. So yeah, man, we're gonna take it from lukegtv to Ryan. This is like my favorite Ryan Leone story.
For me, I was like, dude,
hold on.
And a white heroin. I don't remember what I paid for it, but I bought it. Cocaine. They just had a bunch of different drugs, like in a pint. So it like looks like I've been drinking. It's just like chilling, like on my passenger side. I don't know, for whatever reason it was. Luckily, I bought some snacks, and like I showed him in the back of it. I was at my hotel, but I was parked in my car. Like I was just sitting in the driver's seat, and I was just hunched over my steering wheel. So I figured that I must have made it back to the hotel, but I couldn't take it any longer, and I just nodded out and passed out on the steering wheel. I'm like, fuck, what time is it? I forgot what my flight was like at 10 in the morning or something, and I look at my clock, and it's like 9:14. I'm like, fuck. I'm like a mile away from the airport. So I go to it, and I missed the flight. I'm like, oh, my God. And I had taken the acid, and I'd put in a cologne sample vial, that like they give you at like Nordstrom's or Macy's. And I put an entire vial in one of those cologne things. So I had that in like my dop kit with like my razors. That's what I was going to take on the plane. I was actually going to walk on the plane with it. Just, with anything that I've ever done that's super sketchy. I mean, you get caught on an airplane with 100 hits of liquid LSD, you're going to prison for like 40 fucking years. That's how the feds look at that. It's a very serious crime. Super sedative medications. They're like, oh my God, sir, we're so sorry to hear that. And they like grabbed a wheelchair and they
Hold
were
on.
like, next. And she's just like, what the fuck? And I'm like, look, I didn't do it on purpose. I'm getting on the next flight at 4. She's like, all right, cool. So I went to
so he missed the first flight. He called her and said, okay, I missed the flight. I'm getting on the next flight. Check it out.
Terminal, and I sat down. I had a book, and I just nodded out, passed out, woke up at like 11 o'clock.
Nodded out again. He missed 2 flights.
And I missed the second flight that I paid for. I paid like $700 for that flight.
And then he did it a third time. So, yeah, man, shout out to lukegtv. Shout out to Ryan Leone, man. And at the end of the day, man, Ryan was a very special dude. I remember when I was watching Ryan Leone on a regular basis, the most views he would get would be about 6,000 views, right? And there was a point in time where he responded to every comment, but as he got a little bigger, I guess he detached himself from that because it made him self-conscious and insecure, so he stopped reading comments. But I was there during the time period where he actually used to respond to every comment. And like I told you, I actually played with him. I was joking with him. I said, Ryan, I actually knew a black man who had the keys to the Aryan Brotherhood. And he was like, yo, that's impossible, blase blah, blase blah. That's impossible. That'll never happen. I said, Ryan, the dude he got a white guy to be the face, but he was the one running the yard. He had the keys in his back pocket. The black man was providing the dope, providing all the drugs and narcotics for the Aryan Brotherhood. And he would meet with the white figurehead and tell him what he wanted. And the white guy, so he would have a white guy that was pretending to be the guy with the keys to the yard, but in reality, a black man was behind the scenes, and he was the one who had the keys to the yard for the Aryan Brotherhood. So this man was in the background making money, calling the shots for the AB, and he was a black man. So I was joking with him, man, and Ryan, he actually thought, I figured he'd just say LOL or something like that, but he actually got mad. Well, he wasn't mad, but he was trying to actually prove to me how ridiculous that was. But he was serious. He was like, that would never happen, and they would kill him. And, so that was my one interaction with Ryan Leone. That was my one interaction, man. So, yeah, man, rest in peace, Ryan Leone. And I'm glad that Ryan touched so many people. You know, lukegtv talks about how Ryan influenced him and stuff like that. And like I said, man, I understand it. Ryan gave people who felt like degenerates, people who felt like they didn't have anything to live for. He made these people feel like they have a voice, and he basically gave a voice to people who lived a rough life, a tough life, and he made that marketable, and he made that, you know, a genre. He created a genre. You know what I mean? So yeah, man, I'm yeah, I miss Ryan too, man. So yeah, man, peace.